50 years in exile, Tenzin Gyatso has kept alive the separate and unique identity of Tibet. Over the years, governments and institutions have empathized with him and awarded him honorary degrees in recognition of his efforts. Just a couple of days back, the Harmony organization gave him the Mother Teresa Award. But there has been controversy regarding the doctorate that the Jamia Milia Islamia wanted to give him. But finally, today, the government of India has agreed that it can be given. Today, we are honored to have with us here the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, Lobsang Yeshe Tenzin Gyatso. Welcome to Headlines today, sir. Do you think that India sometimes is a bit over cautious in these matters?
In the past, I used to state the government of India's policy regarding China and particularly Tibet, sometimes overcautious. Now, recent years, government of India are taking more, I think, principled sort of stand. I feel.
You feel this is an example of that principled stand finally
yes,
the government of India says. Okay.
But after all, these universities are more or less sort of autonomy or autonomy body or something like that. And India, a free country.
Okay. Did you ever feel, over the 50 years that you have been in exile, did you ever feel that maybe you would want to go and set up base in some other country, or did you always feel that India was the best?
Never. In spite of many drawbacks, this country, firstly, democracy deeply rooted, and compare with a neighboring state. Last more than 60 years, very stable country. And government change, even after sort of emergency, you see, there's a little bit sort of fear what might happen, but through election, very smoothly transferred.
Then don't you feel that some of the Western democracies might have been more helpful to your cause, more forceful in their, if you had been, say, there?
Difficult to say.
Okay.
But then, you see, our relation with India, not just due to current situation, but last 1,000 years. And millions of Indian public sort of mind, they usually say, the pronunciation they say Tibet. Historically, very close mind, very closely in their mind. And after all, I usually say telling my Indian friend, Buddha, we are Buddhist, so follow Buddha. So Buddha come from India. The Lord Shivaji, his permanent residence is inside Tibet. So from that viewpoint, Lord Shivaji is Tibetan Lord. Okay. So we have a very special connection.
Would you say that the West has been helpful to your cause?
Like European countries and also America, they generally, you see, they speak, I think, loudly about the human right and also right of self-determination and religious freedom, these things. And sometimes it's a stronger voice than our Asian countries.
True.
And then also the sort of some activists among the university students, what we call Free Tibet movement, also it's quite strong.
No, but then when President Obama was here and in Parliament he was talking about freedom, and he took up the example of Myanmar. So were you not a bit let down that he should probably also have spoken about Tibet? That was a platform that he could have used.
Tibet issue. Of course, they last many decades, the government level, you see, they consider Tibet as a part of People's Republic of China, and precisely government of India, you see, state Tibet consider autonomous region of People's Republic of China. Meantime, like European Parliament and also American both houses, also you see, passed a resolution, they consider Tibet as occupied land. So it's a Tibetan case different than Burma's case. That's obvious.
Okay. You said you had come to India in 1956 for the first
Yes.
time to attend the 2500th
Yes.
anniversary of the Buddha. And it is said, we've read in history books and stuff, that you did not want to go back at that time, but
Yes.
Jawaharlal Nehru and Chau Lai were there, and Pandit Nehru convinced you to go back.
Yes.
What did he say? Why did you go back? What made you?
Several occasions or discussion. Then one discussion. Actually, at that time, Government of India is arranged my sort of the place to stay, Hyderabad House. One day, the Prime Minister came to see me and carrying one copy of 17-point agreement. Okay. Then he personally, you see, showing me on this sort of cross, on this cross, you see, you should carry struggle within Tibet. Then of course, besides you see, his advice, some other sort of my investigation also you see involved. Then finally, I decided to go back. Now, that really shows that decision is become very correct.
That was a correct decision.
If at that time I stay here, I think our position will be much weaker.
But, you know, after 50 years, do you sit back and wonder what might have happened if you had stayed back?
No.
No?
No, never.
That was also a correct decision that...
Oh, yes. Of course. And also, you see, the decision leaving Lhasa night 17 March 1959. Also, you see, I sort of was the I carry sort of was mysterious ways of investigation. Then all indicated now right time to leave. And so no regret.
No regret. And you left.
And in fact, I think since I took the responsibility about the temporal sort of responsibility, temporal power about Tibet at the age 16.
15, 16. Yes.
Up to now, the major decision, all prove correct.
Okay.
Some minor things, of course. That's no problem.
But why did you modify your demand? In the 1990s, sometime in the 90s, from a free Tibet, you modified your demand to autonomy under PRC. Why would you do that then?
Oh, you cannot say that way. Actually, till early 70, our main sort of concentration for our own rehabilitations, these things. Then finally, 74, we decided, now sooner or later, we have to talk with Chinese government. So the question of independence is out of question, not realistic. So we must adopt realistic approach. So the best thing is try to seek meaningful autonomy. And not only autonomous region of Tibet, but since we are not seeking independence, so therefore, within the country, the Chinese constitution itself is recognized within, I think, 4 provinces from Qinghai up to Yunnan. The constitution recognized Tibetan autonomous prefecture, autonomous county, autonomous district, like that. The constitution itself is recognized as a Tibetan area, and also you see give the right autonomy. So instead of small here, better this equal sort of rights to all.